Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Today we are taking a careful look at the life and times of a man known in Uganda as Padde Sserunjogi, commonly called Sobi. His story touches on serious issues like urban crime, the challenges of law enforcement, and the difficult relationships that sometimes form between former offenders and authorities. We will explore what happened in his case and broaden the view to similar situations across Africa. This is a factual overview based on public reports. Let's dive in with clear, straightforward facts. Padde Sserunjogi grew up in a context many young people in fast-growing African cities face. Limited opportunities mixed with the pull of quick money through crime. In the 2010s, he became known as the leader of a group involved in armed robberies, theft, and other crimes mainly around Kampala, Uganda's capital. His gang was linked to activities that affected businesses and residents in the city center and nearby areas. Sobi was arrested and convicted at least once. He served about 4 years in Luzira prison for robbery and was released around 2016. What stood out was his public confessions in media interviews, where he openly discussed his past actions.
Nalina ekibinja nga kirimu ate abazibu ennyo kubanga ekibinja ekyange kyalimu abantu nga bataano naye nga bamala Kampala yonna.
He claimed his group had, at times, connections or arrangements with elements in the security forces. These statements raised many questions about how crime operated in the city. Relation with authorities. One of the most debated parts of Sobi's story is his reported shift after prison. According to various news accounts, he began working as an informant and even participated in special police operations. He was reportedly linked to the Internal Security Organization, commonly known as ISO, and other security efforts. Why wasn't he sentenced more harshly or kept out of such roles? Public records suggest that in some cases, law enforcement agencies work with former offenders to gather intelligence on larger networks. This is a common practice worldwide, known as using cooperating witnesses or informants. In Uganda at the time, under leaders like former Inspector General of Police Kale Kaihura, there were claims of such collaborations. However, officials sometimes distanced themselves from individuals like Sobi when controversies arose. Critics pointed to possible protection or selective enforcement, while others saw it as a practical way to fight crime in resource-limited settings. It's important to note that these arrangements are not unique to one country and carry risks. They can help reduce crime in a short term, but also raise concerns about accountability, fairness, and the rule of law. In Sobi's case, despite his past, he continued to appear in public and was involved in other activities, including what some described as land-related operations. His death and immediate context. In December 2023, Sobi's life ended violently in Gomba district, Uganda. Reports indicate he was part of a group involved in a land dispute in Chibale village. Land conflicts are a major issue in many parts of Uganda due to population growth, unclear titles, and high demand. An angry crowd confronted the group, leading to Sobi's death.
News of Pade Serunjoji's death, alias Sobi, broke last evening. Sobi, a popular gang leader from the Chifese group, met his death in Chibale LC1, Madu sub-county in Gomba district. A statement released by Kanoni Police indicates that on Monday, December 18, 2023 at about 12:30 p.m., a group of about 50 people armed with machetes, sticks and spear attacked another group of people who claimed the same land belonged to them and ended up killing one known as Pade Serunjoji.
Police described it as a mob attack during an eviction attempt. His passing was widely reported with the phrase, "He lived by the sword, died by the sword," highlighting the dangers of that lifestyle. The broader African context. Sobi's story is not isolated. Across Africa, complex relationships between criminals, informants and security forces appear in different forms. In Nigeria's northwest, for example, bandit groups and vigilant responses have created situations where some actors move between crime and local security roles. In parts of Kenya, vigilant groups have sometimes worked alongside or in tension with police against cattle rustling or urban crime. In South Africa, gang violence in areas like Cape Town has led to discussions about community self-defense and police challenges. Across the continent, weak institutions, land disputes and rapid urbanization can blur lines between formal justice and informal actions. Vigilant groups, citizens taking security into their own hands, have emerged in places like Burkina Faso, for example, the Kogleogo, or Uganda's own history with groups like the Arrow Boys during conflicts. These can provide short-term protection but sometimes lead to abuses or cycles of violence. Governments and communities face the same core challenge, building strong, accountable police and justice systems that serve everyone fairly. Programs focusing on community dialogue, better land management, youth opportunities and professional policing are part of the solution in many countries. In conclusion, the story of Sobi reminds us of the real human and societal costs when crime, security, and justice intersect imperfectly. It underscores the need for transparent institutions, economic opportunities, and respect for the rule of law across Africa. Progress is happening in many places through reforms and regional cooperation, but challenges remain. What are your thoughts on these issues? Share respectfully in the comments.